Let's Cheat series that I'm doing with Final Fantasy XIII. Why Final Fantasy XIII? Well, I've never played it, and from what I understand, it kind of sucks. And I really have no desire to play it straight through. Usually I would wait to, do cheats on a game until I've beaten it normally, at least once. This is one of those cases where I just don't really want to play the game to begin with. So I'm pretty much only going to have fun with it if I cheat with it. So yeah, I just kind of want to see the story. So I'm going to go through it and play around, and I guess that's pretty much it. So without much further ado, let's get started. Now I will say that I don't know a whole lot about the story, and I have gone ahead and started the beginning of it. So if you were looking to see like the first 15 minutes of the game, you're going to miss it because, well, I just didn't care that much. So I'm going to start off with the cheat engineer. So pop it up, you can see that. So first thing you got to do, obviously, is you have to select the correct process. And I'm sorry, but there's going to be a lot of small windows that you're not going to see right away. Just know that I'm choosing Final Fantasy XIII as the process, which you can see up here. So there you go. Now, I've already gone ahead and found the value for money, which I didn't actually save in here because that's fine. But I'll show you how to do that again anyway, in case you don't know how. It's fairly simple. And this is going to be weird because I'm going to have to constantly go back and forth between the game and the thing, but it's all fun. So I use this one up. Fields of War. I like how there's a CD loading icon as if I'm playing off a CD. And this was actually PC. There we go. I'm also probably going to make fun of this game because honestly, I played Final Fantasy XV. I didn't cheat on that one initially, but that was another interesting game. Alright, so as you can see, my money here is pretty high. 4,896,900. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly show how to find that value if you don't know already. So pretty much I'm going to go into the value box here. 4 bytes is fine for this. Actually, I'll show you how to do a pointer scan for this also. So 4,896,900. Shouldn't be too many. I ended up with 2 values because that's a pretty uncommon value. Lower numbers, they are what they are. So I'll put it back to 5 million. As you can see, it changed in the actual game, which is pretty much what I expected. Now here's the interesting part, is doing a pointer scan. So if you don't, I've been pretty clear about what pointers are, but in case you haven't watched my other videos, a pointer is pretty much just going to tell you where the more or less it's going to be the same every time. These memory addresses that it finds, this address right here, 1C, whatever, that's referring to a specific spot in the memory that can change basically whenever you start and restart the program, or if you load a new save, something like that can change. So in order to find a more permanent address, you need to do a pointer scan. I tend to use 7 levels deep for my max level. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and scan for this address, or not scan this, I'm going to generate a pointer map. First thing you got to do always is generate a pointer map. And it doesn't really matter where you put it and what you do with it, but I'm just going to leave mine in this default location here. And I'm going to say FFXIII. And my cough's kind of back, so that sucks. So, yep, it's going along. I know you actually can't see this, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and add this this window capture. Blank screen. Yeah, don't worry. Everything's fine. I think that's what I wanted to show you. Oh, yeah, it's there. Alright, so, yeah, for some reason it's not showing the entire window. Hold on. That's annoying. Well, it's not going to show you the stuff at the top here. Unfortunately, there's a whole set of windows, or options. But I'll just, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Because this just makes more sense. Display. Oh wow, that was neat. Yeah, so I've captured the whole display for you. So this will be easier for me to kind of show you what I'm doing. In a way, I think. This preview is going to get real weird. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know if this is a better option or not. I hope it is. But anyway, so in case you missed what I did, pretty much went here. You go to generate pointer map, does the same thing. Generate pointer map for your first time doing this. That way you can get basically everything you need done. But you're going to create just a pointer map that tells you. I'm really going over the same information here over and over. Sorry, but yeah, you're going to use this. You know, like a pointer map, which basically just all of the possible pointers that could exist. It's basically like searching for a value, but instead of searching for just the value and an address, you're searching for every address that could possibly be pointing to the address that you're searching for. If that makes sense, the way I explained it. Anyway, I'm going to hide the screen. Cheat enter real quick, and we'll go back to the game. Now, what you typically want to do at this point, if you really want to find that pointer, is you want to go back and you're going to want to basically find a lot of, just to close the game, restart your computer, do the pointer scanner again, and that's going to make it, it's going to get rid of a lot of the values that aren't the pointer that you're looking for. Yeah, again, I don't know what I'm doing, so don't expect me to be an expert in this game. I have absolutely no clue.
This is not our lucky day.
It matters. And I'm not sure if I can pause during battles, but I'm going to see if I need to.
T4Ts, are we? Weapons down. I'd hate for this to turn ugly.
Turn ugly?
He wants to kill us without a fight.
Time's up!
Cool, another tutorial. Alright, initiate attack chain, auto attack names, and choose whatever. See the bar displayed beneath the target's name. There's the chain gauge. Use a chain gauge to strike. Okay. Hit home. Okay. Okay, so that was basically a tutorial telling me to keep attacking the enemy. Because if I do that, stuff will happen. When I change it, you can drain them over to the dagger. I have to say, I really don't like this battle system all that much. I guess that's just preference, because don't know. I guess I can kind of see what they were going for, but you know, only having one thing to control kind of sucks. Also, I don't know, I guess it's very similar to Chrono Trigger.
What's your angle?
Sorry, I'm gonna cough a lot.
What?
I'll clear my throat.
Classified military info? Huh? What's the matter? You quit, didn't you? Did you think I'm gonna go out there and just tell everybody your secrets?
My angle. I'm after the Foul C.
Yeah, whatever that is. It's important to have a lever that goes in a Z shape for no apparent reason.
Still happy you tagged along.
Didn't have a choice.
So I guess since he didn't have a choice but to tag along, but he definitely had a choice.
And express our best wishes for a successful relocation. Your noble and selfless sacrifice
Yeah, you know.
ensures the continued safety and peace of our society. Were it not for this remarkable gesture, every resident of Cocoon, your family, your friends, your neighbors, would be exposed to the dangers of the world below. By choosing to leave Cocoon and participating in this migration.
Migration? More like extermination.
Huge.
Hey, it's Cypher.
You stay here.
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
These people need heroes.
Eight.
Here. You keep your cool, and they will too. You got it?
Got it.
What's our motto?
The Army's no match for Nora.
That a boy.
Okay. So I already looked for a place where I could, cheat experience, but I haven't even found the experience yet, so I guess that's like something that's locked. I understand this game has sort of like a spear grid type of thing, but different. I don't know, I guess I'll see. I don't really care to talk to people. Just gonna move on. That's a button that opens a map. Cool. They didn't have the app to talk to people?
Why even bother?
I guess not. One thing I'll say I definitely noticed about this game right off the bat is it's a freaking hallway. It's just like run straight down this place and then turn when you got to turn.
This is crazy.
About it.
Take a nap.
Really? Can I?
And I understand that.
Sure. And when we're taking a dirt nap, you can save them all.
No, that's even worse.
But you understand that it's pretty much the entire way, the entire
No
thing.
dirt
There's like
naps
cheat
today.
complaint.
We're all in this together. Our enemies, the Cocoon
Pretty similar to Final
our
Fantasy
dreaded
X, so.
SciComm, no less.
At least Final Fantasy 15 kind of went back to the sort of,
bluster and bullying.
world
They got nothing
exploration
on
type
Nora.
thing.
Well, we are the heroes
Not
after
really.
all.
Well, let's prove it.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard to go back to the old style.
Sanctum's gonna pay for this.
I guess his weapon against people with guns and swords is to punch them. That's cool. this combat's real deep. When auto battle is like the main thing you do, it's yeah. Well, granted, like I know, like I know that when like in the older games, you ended up pretty much just hitting fight a lot, especially like Final Fantasy VI, for example. You know, I ended up, you know, you get like the right relics and stuff, and just fight command over and over. And that's all you really need to do to win most of the time. But there wasn't just blatantly auto battle, it did everything for you. There wasn't like a command that you pressed it and it could do whatever was best in that situation.
Real heroes don't need plans.
Also, this is kind of weird with the way items are used. So okay. I don't know. Not having turn-based combat is kind of strange to me. Because I can't understand what I'm supposed to do.
Hit him again. You're the only hope these people have.
I can't. You can use the item right, but then like you use the item and yet you still need to like you have to use it soon enough so that you don't die. And even if you have 3 other people up and you have Phoenix Downs, apparently they're not willing to use the Phoenix Downs on it. It's kind of annoying. I think this is the way I was going. The good news is that if you go the wrong way, it's pretty obvious because you'll not see enemies. And, yeah, you'll just know you have to turn around and go 180 degrees in the other direction, and, yeah, you'll be back on track. And I'm just pressing a button over and over at this point. And that seems to be the way I get through the game. It's a little slow. It's boring. Okay.
You all okay? Careful with those.
Careful with what? Guns?
Don't worry. No one's moving to Pulse today. We'll clear you a path out of here, so be ready to...
Wait! Let me fight with you!
You can't expect us to just sit here.
Could help.
Yep. Please, let us help!
Okay.
Okay then. Volunteers front and center.
Here, take this one. Here you go.
Well, they've all got guns.
Count me in. Here's yours. Take care now. Mom? Don't worry.
You should probably be worried.
So I just...
Hold it steady.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah, nice.
Can you show me again?
You got it.
That's how it works.
You sure?
Yeah. Wolves are tough.
Right.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those games that's all about girl power, isn't it?
boss.
All right, last one. Somebody take it.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into,
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't turn into, like, the beating of Lara Croft, otherwise known as, like,
Push
any of
comes
the
to
new
shove.
Tomb Raiders.
Keep them safe.
First impression of snow? All talk.
All right, lay low and you'll be fine. We'll clear out the area. We're going home together!
Come
Okay.
on! Everybody up!
Right. New recruits, on me!
Come on.
Whatever that means.
Time to go, kiddo.
Time to go do this.
We're not losing to SciComm, you hear me?
This'll be a piece of cake.
I kind of want to learn how to do like a big Trump impression, you know?
Stay sharp. Don't want to make their job any easier.
These Pulse Fal'C, they've got nothing on Cocoon Pulse Fal'C. Pulse Fal'C, total disaster. I don't know. I'm not very good at it. I need to work on it. Okay.
How about this?
I'm hoping at some point this gets to like leveling. Because I was gonna like demonstrate how to use trucks. I'm kind of curious. So I did the I played through Secret of Mana, the updated PC version on Steam, and it gets a lot of hate, but I thought it was a pretty decent game. But one thing I found was it was very easy to find like every single value in a struct in that game, which was nice. Basically, you found like the health of one of the characters, and then from there, everything else was in the struct, which is really nice. And I'm kind of curious if this game is going to be similar. So, well, eventually, I have to find something. So I guess I could start by finding the health of,
Let's shake things up a little.
this douchebag. So I guess I'll do that. We'll see what happens.
Put down the resistance!
Might be able to find like his attack gauge or something, ATG, whatever they call it in this game. Okay.
Heroes don't run from fights.
Neat. Dear God, I'd say, but it's gone berserk. Okay, sorry. Here.
There's nothing we can't.
Alright, so snow self is 350, so let's figure that out. Oh, I already know that, but let's figure out what to do with snow self. So, new scan, 350. Not too many options, so that's good news.
Do.
I gotta take some damage. Alright, easy enough. 259 is the new number. 259. And so, this is where you can use a little bit of guesswork. So, I could keep looking for values, I take more damage and see what happens from there. And I might get different values or I might get the same ones. But, basically I can look at this address right here, and I can make a few reasonable guesses from this, that one of these values is going to be correct, one of them is not. There isn't any way to know for sure, but it's probably one of these two values. And I'm going to start with this one, just for fun, pretty much. So I'll set it to 360, and we'll go back in the game. It did not do it. So, and it actually went back to what it was, so that's useful data. And now I'll try 350 on that one. And that didn't do it, so it's not that one either. So that one went back. So let's try this other 1C address. And that's the one. So, obviously it wasn't that close, but it was in the same that same first 2 digits very close enough. So that's good. I was pretty sure it wasn't going to be one of these 1Bs. So anyway, so now I've got this value, and I can lock this to 350, which I think his actual value is what, 360. So I should be able to do that and not take any damage now, right? In theory, right? No damage? Yep. Okay, so now I'm set. Don't not taking damage. Now the question is, what else can I get from that data? So this is where I'm going to look at the struct. And, well, one thing I'm going to do also is I'm going to go ahead and generate a pointer map. I'm going to call this, I'm just going to call it HP. FFXIII. HP. So there that goes. And this is generating. And I think I used 7 threads on that. Who knows? Anyway. Okay, yeah. So that's the downside of doing it that way. The other option to do with pointer scan is you can do pointer scan for this address, scan for pointer, generate a pointer map, and then you can, well, never mind. I'm not even going to care. No, screw it. Just generate pointer map. That's all you got to do. I guess this is different in the newer version of this, so I'll go with that. Anyway, so the next thing I want to do is I want to look for a struct for this. So a struct is basically, think of it as, let's say there's an instance of a thing, like, for example, I've got this bottle of Pepsi, right? And you've got nutrition facts on here. So if I find, like, for example, if I find the serving size, 1 bottle, if I find the address of that serving size, I can do a struct, and then the struct is going to give me the values of all these other things that I'm looking for, just because it's going from that starting number. So that's basically what a struct does. So what you want to do is first get the address that you're looking for, which I have now, the HP. And I'm going to browse this memory region. And now that I'm browsing the region, I'm going to go into Tools and Dissect Data Structures. And you got your address right there. And I'm going to go Define New Structure. Now I'm going to leave all the values basically default. I'm just going to call this Snow because that's what it is. And now I'm going to leave this off on the side here so I can kind of watch these values as I go. But I'm going to what I'm going to do is try to find the attack gauge, which I just did. So as you can see right here, this value right here is changing. So this struct worked out perfectly for what I'm trying to do. So essentially, my attack gauge is this address right here, and I can take this, and I'll just show you how it works again. So just watch that value as it goes. See, as my gauge goes up, it goes back up to 2,000. So I did that without having to do any extra searching for values, which is really convenient. So that was actually really, really good. What I'm going to do again is attack again, and you'll see the value drop down. So apparently every bar is worth 1,000, according to what I'm learning looking at this. So what I can do is I can right-click this and add that address to list, and I can just lock the value where it's at. And now I should be able to basically just attack infinitely. Yep. Just attack forever now, and there's really no problems with it. So that's pretty cool. Sweet. So, that's not going to be the only data that I have in that struct. There's also other things in there. And we'll kind of take a look at his stats and see if I can figure out if there's anything else useful in this struct. When I find the actual pointer, though, basically, I now know that if I take the pointer and I'll bring this up over here. If I take the pointer and add 10 to it, that's how I'm going to be able to get this every single time. So, pretty useful information. Looks like I've also got a couple other repeats of the same info here. I don't know what these things are yet. May be able to figure it out, may not. Let's see. Some additional data like his stats.
I told you, didn't I?
the stats could very well be in this truck somewhere, but also, yeah, it sounds like it's kind of. Oh no, the mom got blasted. And it's all Snow's fault, I guess. Oh no, Snow, you're a tard. It's your fault. It's all your fault. Everyone is dying. What is going on?
Get him home. Please.
Hold on!
But in order to get all the stats, I might have to find, the memory address of one of the stats, like strength or something, and then I could probably dissect that structure and get all of that other information, which is, pretty useful. So I don't have to search for a lot of different things, which is good. You also could, in real time, you basically can come in here and change this to whatever number you want, like 70. If I thought the address was going to be like early on, I could do that. It's just that when you're doing it, you want to make sure you go by.
Come on.
I don't remember what I was thinking.
We have to move.
You want to go by basically like multiples in this second from last digit. I like to go by 4s, but kind of up to you. So if you do this you can do this by like 2s. So I can make this a 6, a 4, a 2, a 0. But generally, it doesn't matter how far back you go. If I go back, take this to 4. This one's a 0. Make it a 4. I go back. Make this a 7. F, I think that would be right. Or no, 7E. No. D. No. C. Yep, C. That's the one. So 7C would be going back 4 spots. It's going to be 9, I think. No. 0. Yeah, 0. No. Okay. No. 9. 8. Yeah, it's 8. Okay. I suck at hex sometimes. I really do. 4. 0. Yeah, you can go back all types of different ways. But the key thing here is just to like go back and multiples of 4. And I guess I'll continue on. I'd really like to get somewhere in this where I can, like, I don't know, have fun. So far, it's like watching a lot of movies, and then I occasionally press buttons that I don't really care about.
Those people won't even live long enough to die on pulse.
That was the idea.
What?
Sanctum logic. They conjured up the purge to eliminate a threat. I mean, why carry the danger all the way to Pulse? Why not just stamp it out here? Execution masquerading as exile. That's all the purge ever was.
Relocation to Pulse. How does the government get away with pulling crap like that?
I don't know. How do they?
You knew this was gonna happen?
The purge was PSICOM. Private Sanctum troops, not the
I wonder
Guardian
if
Corps.
I increase these, if they're going to be the same.
PSICOM,
Like,
Guardian Corps. Soldiers are soldiers, aren't they? Pulse FFXIII and their lessee are enemies of the state. Tell a soldier to kill an enemy, and you really think it's gonna matter what uniform he's wearing?
Might have mattered to that one. Couldn't shoot. Got himself shot instead.
Sorry, let me get us back to the right hand.
How about you? Hmm? Orders say shoot, you pull the trigger? Fine. Forget I asked.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Oh, good. Good thing to do. Alright, so curious if this is going to be the same set of stuff or not. And it looks like it's different. So interesting thing to notice here. So lightning's health is 200, which is what's displayed here. So the character health is stored in several different places, and it just looks like in this instance they're going to store it. They're going to store it a little bit off over there. So that's kind of neat. Something new. Which means I also have to find. I probably have to find this value again, but I mean we'll see if it changes what we do. Yeah, so it's a different value for that one. So I need to do a new scan for 200. And actually, since I know what Snow's health is, what his address is, and we'll change to Snow HP. Since I know what that is, I can probably take a pretty good guess about which address is going to be correct for Lightning's. So it's 1C8 F66 here. So I'm looking for something else close to 1C8 F66. And the closest thing is 1C8. Looking at some keys. This one ends with a 0, so let's give that a shot. Change that to 199. And that was correct. So I made a pretty good guess there. So there we go, nailed it. Now the next thing is I could take this and add 10 to it, and that should give me her battle gauge based off of what I know. Which I think that's actually correct, so... And we'll just call this Snow ATB, and we'll call this one Light ATB. And I'm going to do a generated pointer map for FFXIII Light HP. And pointer map generating. Yay! I could also be wrong. The memory address could just change entirely. I mean, we'll see if it switches back to Snow. It'll be interesting to see. Anyway, I'm going to switch this back to the regular view so that you guys can kind of see where I'm at. Alright, so back into the game. Yep, and I have all the correct addresses, so neat. Now, here's another interesting thing that we could do. So, let's do some code injection real quick. So that instead of... I'm trying to get this all set back up. But basically we can try to do some code injection and see... kind of see if we can stop certain things from happening. So we can see we can find out what writes to this address. That's going to be number one thing. So we take Light's HP and we find out what writes to that address. And we'll have to attach a debugger, of course. And what we're going to be looking for, this over here, is we're going to be watching to see what happens when she takes some damage. Ah, yes. So the game crashed. Sweet. Good thing it's saved recently. So now we know that will crash the game. Well, if something like that happens, there's a couple options. First thing to do is try switching to like page exceptions. And if that doesn't work, there's other ways to do it. But we'll try page exceptions for this next one. There's good and bad in what just happened. The good is that now we can actually test to see. We can test and see if there's a if we can get some different pointers, basically. So I'm going to try to get, do a pointer scan and rescan for those different things that we were looking at earlier. Maybe I'll find a pointer. Or maybe not. Who knows? Oh no, I didn't save before. God, I hate this. Okay. Well, I guess there's good and bad to that. Good is that we go all the way back to snow. Alright, so the memory is cleared, so we can find this address again. And I can just skip everything, so... Wait. Back to this. Okay, well, cool, whatever. So, anyway, I'm going to reattach my process, or my debugger, or my... I'm reattaching the things to the other things right now. I'm trying to get my windows back in order. Alright, so there we go. So I'm going to do a new scan, first scan 200, and we'll wait for snow to take some damage, or not snow, light. Alright, now we're at 165. Oops. Alright, and hey, it's this right here, so that's neat. So in case you know this game, on the second scan, it's always going to be the middle one, turns out. At least that's what I'm guessing. Yep, that's correct. Okay, so before I do the other scans here, I'm going to go ahead and pointer scan for this address. And I'm just doing that to bring up this menu. And now I'm going to open. Why are you being a punk right now? There we go. Alright, so I'm going to scan for this address. I'm going to use the save pointer map. So that's kind of the key here. Use a save pointer map. Check that box. And then choose light HP for this one in particular. My max level is 7. And okay. And now I'm going to save this again. Alright, so now I've got, about maybe a good number of options here. So right now, any of these pointers should work. And really, a lot of these pointers here probably do work, but, basically you want to find one that's going to work every time. So I'm going to pick one at random. There's not really anything specific. Oh, that one doesn't. Looks like none of these are working, which is kind of fun. Oh, the pointer map option didn't work at all. So let's do something else. Instead, let's get a pointer scan for this address. Let's not use save pointer map, and let's do this. And we'll just save it over light HP. This will probably give me way more options than I want. Alright, so I've got a bunch of options here. Looks like none of them are working, which is kind of odd. Well, that's interesting. I want to make this maybe level 10. So I'm going to go 10 threads deep, and let's see if that gives me a valid pointer. It's very interesting, actually, that I'm not getting any good results. Okay, there we go. So, alright. 10 deep was the way to go. So, just as an interesting thing to check, we'll use save pointer scan or pointer generate. We'll use a saved pointer map grid, and we'll do 10 deep, and we'll save it to that one just because it's gonna prove that this would have worked. And it's frozen. It's frozen. 1C8F6018. I may have to reopen Cheat Engine because now I think I've gone too far. Yep, 1C8F6018. So let's open this again. And I'm going to 1C8F6018. There we go. Alright. So that was weird. Alright. So forget what I was saying earlier as far as generating pointer maps and all that junk. Just do it this way. Do a pointer scan. Give it a name, and then go from there. Usually, I'll tell you, you're going to end up with a lot more results than 652 or whatever this gave me. And you'll have to do this like multiple times. But in this instance, you know, I got a bunch of pointers, but it seems like a lot of work. Anyway, basically double click one of those pointers now. Next time I restart the game, this should come up like this. So I'll just save this for later, but I'll call this light HP. So now, if I wanted to, for example, copy, paste. Alright, so if I wanted to make this so that it's always going to be lights ATB, which I do, what I could do is come in here and I could add 10 to this number here, this last digit. And, or actually, should be able to do it here too. Let's see if it happens if I do it here. Curious. Nope. So that was what I was looking for. I guess I had to add it here. So how do I add 10 to C? It's going to be D, E, F, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should be 6. So I also have to add 1 here, so this is going to be E6. Pain in my junk. Yeah. Trickier than I thought it would be. Yeah, there it is. It's the top one. I'm dumb. I just needed to add it here. So you need to add an extra 10 here, which means go to the next number up, which is A. Done. I had the right idea. I was doing it in the wrong spot. Give me a break. Anyway, so now I've got her ATB and her HP locked right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the debugger again. Let's find out what happens. So I'm going to find out what writes to this address. Okay. I'm going to find out what writes to the address pointed at by this pointer. How about? That should give me what I want. And it frozen. Son of a bitch. So, okay, when that doesn't work, the answer is try another thing. And the other thing is going to be... let's see. Try to prevent detection is a good thing. I'm going to put that there. For some reason, I can't choose... Oh, I think I know why. Let me close... Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. Sure. I'm going to save that for now. Well, this is good because it gives me a chance to check my pointers anyway. If I go into settings here, I should be able to open this now. Yeah. So I won't let you change these options unless you've actually got the stuff open. So I'm going to go with use kernel mode debugger. Maybe that will make it work. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to hide this again, pull the game back up, and we'll try it again. Ah. Fun. I'm okay when things don't go as planned because sometimes they don't go as planned. Let's skip through movies again. Alright. So, number 1, reattach it to the game, then reload this. Alright, so I can see from here that my pointers clearly didn't work. So these are both useless. I'll remove them. Whoops. So, I need to start scanning for stuff. I need to take some damage. Once I take damage, I'll be able to find her health again. Oh my gosh. Alright, for real though? Is this avoiding attacking me? Thank you. Alright. Now I can look for 170, middle one again. Okay. 200. Just make sure, yep, it's all looking good. Alright, so from here we can do pointer scan for this dress again. Now in this one, what you want to do is open your open the pointers that you did. So this way you can actually get a you'll actually be rescanning all of these now to find the correct ones. So like if I look over here, I can see addresses that are still correct. Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing you this. There we go. I'm done. So I'll go back through that. So I went ahead, found her health again. Pointer scan for the address. Just cancel out of it. Go to open, and then choose the pointer list that you generated. And now you're going to look and see that you've got all these on the right side here. You've got all these correct pointers that are still pointed to the right place. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this address, copy it, and then I'm going to come back here and go to rescan. And I'm going to type in address to find, paste in the address, hit OK, and then I'll just copy it over. I'll do this one more. I can basically copy it over the same list, and that's good. And now I've got all of these potential pointers, which it narrowed it down to like 60,000 out of like 500,000 wherever it was, so that's good. Anyway, now I got this pointer. Call this line HP again. And then we'll look here. Add that. Make that A up by 10. Call this light ATV. Light HP. Alright. Save that again. Okay. So I'm going to do this one more time to try to do the what writes to. And if it crashes again, well, that'll suck, but let's see what happens. So I want him to attack. I really want him to attack lightning because then something cool will happen. Maybe. Oh my god. Okay, so clearly it's just just not going to let me do what I want to do. There's probably some other ways to do it, like I think the BEH debugger might work, but I'll give that a shot too. Screw it. Let's do that too and see if I can get. So I'm basically going to change. I'm going to change back into the settings. I'm going to change the BEH debugger. I know I don't have it showing right now, but I'm going to switch to the BEH debugger, and we're going to hit the page exceptions and BEH debugger. Screw it. And we'll see if that does what I'm looking for it to do, which is basically work. Okay. So, all right, one more time into the breach, I guess. But you know, this is another opportunity to see if the pointers work. So you know, there's that. Maybe it'll actually attack lightning this time. All right. So first thing I'm gonna do is make it so my screen shows, so I can do what I need to do. All right. So move this over here. And I'm going to choose Final Fantasy 13, obviously. Open up my save table. And hey, it looks like it's working now, so that's good news. So it looks like I got some valid pointers. Just to make it a little bit more robust, I'm going to go ahead and go open, and I'm going to pull up that pointer record. And we'll just see if there's any. So it looks like all these are. I can't see any that aren't good. So, you know, all 60,000 of these pointers might actually be good. I don't know. So whatever. Let's find out how it is. So, one more time, I'm gonna find out what writes to this address. Attach the debugger. Find out what writes to the address. And let's see if I can have something happen that doesn't suck. Apparently, using a potion makes things happen, so that's good. Okay. So that time it worked. Good news. All right. So. I got a move instruction, which basically is saying, basically, if it says move, EAX, whatever, it's saying to move a value from one place to another. And that's all you really need to know. For here, what I can do is I can go ahead and try to do some code injection. And yeah. So let's go ahead and do a pointer scan. I want to do code injection. I can't remember where the heck it's called. Inject DLL. Auto assemble. Let's call this so you can do an array of bytes injection, or you can do a code injection, full injection. Let's do full injection, see what happens. And we're going to put it on this address, which is basically using the address that I found with that pointer, so it should always be the same. Alright, so we're looking for that move EAX 290 right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically we want to knock out that. I think that's pretty much all I had to do. So sign this. So what this should do is it's going to do this right here. Instead of doing that, though, what we want to do is remove this line. and just do. I'm gonna cut it and put a knot in there, and then let's see if that does what we want it to do. So you can see over there on the right, up here in the disassembler, that knot is in there now. So theoretically, if I get hit now, just nothing should happen. There we go. And the same applies for him. I think the same applies to the enemy and me. Yeah, so nobody's taking any damage now, essentially. Which is clearly not ideal. So, now there is a way around that. And basically it involves structs. But I don't really want to get into structs right now. Well, not yet anyway. Not more of them yet. So, for now what I'll do is I'll disable that, and I'll just set their health to be static. And I'll just start wailing on this dude until he dies. In theory, though, that script should work every time. If I just wanted to make it so that nobody dies, I can do that. What I need to do, though, is basically do an if statement, pretty much, and say that if certain values match, then it'll only, it'll make her invincible without the enemies. There's some crazy stuff I gotta do here, basically, and I'll get to that in another video just right now. If you want to know how I did it, you should actually look back at my Final Fantasy or my Mortal Kombat 10 video. I actually showed how you can use a struct to figure out which addresses for who, and whether or not that code should be processed based on a value that you'll find in the structs. And it's a little bit complicated if you're new to this, but you can figure it out. It's not that bad. Sarah? Who's Sarah?
Just what you were looking for.
So what is that?
Yeah, right in there.
The post file C.
The what?
Don't worry. We'll be okay.
Mom.
Voice does not match face. Minus 20 points. Minus 20 DKP. Kid was unwilling to touch gun 15 minutes ago. Now is able to handle
It's
guns.
too much, isn't it? Face it later. Ciao!
Hey, wait!
What?
You said it made you happy when I smiled, didn't you? But really, I was afraid.
So is she the main
I was
character?
always
Who the hell is she?
afraid.
I don't know what's going on with this game right now. I mean, it's not completely abnormal for... Is that a freaking cow skull on the front of it? What is going on here?
So
I can't even go, like,
post file C
3 minutes
is
without
different from the sanctums.
wondering what the hell anything is or what's going on in this game.
All things being equal, I just assume.
Is this Doom? What the hell is that for?
Time to jump.
Yeah. I know. Hey! Hang on!
Why? What?
Hey!
I mean, it didn't work before. Why is it working now? Oh, whatever.
Damn. She can do it, so can we.
But you don't have magic powers, you tard. I mean, she's not really magic either. What? How does that work? How does any of this work? Ah, Whatever. It's Final Fantasy. I guess I don't have to make sense.
Come on, come on.
Yeah, slap the shit out of that guy. Kind of reminds me of, I guess it doesn't really look, but I don't know, for some reason, looking at that guy, I get the vibe from, like, the Hot Shots.
What about the others?
They're dead.
They didn't die. They couldn't have died.
I think they did.
Of course not.
Hey, get a grip, man. What's wrong with you?
Get him home. Get who home?
I hope there's a place for me to save soon, because this is a lot of exposition, but it's kind of slow and annoying.
Toss me that.
Catch. What are you doing?
So what are you afraid of, huh? You're supposed to be the hero. She's waiting there, ain't she? Your lovely bride-to-be? Isn't it about time you picked her up?
What the hell did...
Yeah.
I don't even understand. Did he say heroes never die or something? I wasn't paying attention.
There's our... Now you're talking.
Okay.
I hope everyone's alright.
No, most of them fell down a hole.
Standing there ain't gonna stop us.
Oh, there we go. Hey, dead children. Sweet. Not. Fallen innocents. It's because everybody fell. Because they're dead. Alright. So that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to close this. So, I keep forgetting to do that. Anyway. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do for right now as far as cheating and stuff. And as far as, playing the game, because you can only handle so much of that. I'm going to say what I got as far as the cheating and stuff, and then we'll come back to it. I think, hopefully, maybe sometime in the future of the game, you unlock the ability to level up or do something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll eventually get to, like, editing items so that, I can change items to whatever I feel like and stuff like that. It's just, I haven't gotten that far to do that yet. But thanks for watching this. I know it's been like a long hour, and I haven't done Raids in a long time, so kind of getting back into it. But see you on the next one, and until then, please try not to die.